Agenda West Side Beer.
Guys, welcome to another episode of Into the West Comics. My name is Frank. Sonny is here.
What's up, brother?
Special players.
Special Thursdays.
teams.
Special Thursdays. Special teams.
What's up, bro?
What's up, brother?
What's up, brother?
Nice to see you.
Good to see you. It's good to be back.
I missed you.
I missed you.
Wow.
Like, medium amount. Not as much as I sounded like I did.
I missed you. Heavy accent on there. The hot dog, corn dog, not single dog. Paul is here. I didn't mean to get in your camera. I'm sorry.
It's his camera.
That's
Don't forget.
your camera.
They're sharing one.
Yeah.
That's his.
They did that to
See?
themselves before.
That's
Okay.
fine. That's fine.
Hello. How is
It
everybody?
starts.
How are everybody? I don't know.
How are everyone?
Are out thou.
English is a difficult.
Anglish.
Did
Aren't
not
you a
say-
teacher?
I did not say English.
You kind of did.
Please welcome our
You know who
special
says
guest.
English?
He's been sleeping in here since UFC 300. We woke him up for the show tonight. Mr. Cam Coates. Those are great jammies.
I had to take off my big floppy Ebenezer Scrooge hat that I sleep in, my single candle to
If
light
those
the
are your
night.
pajamas, you got some fly pajamas.
Yeah.
Who's out there?
The socks. The
Great.
shoes.
It's a great
I just need the
sleep
matching
shirt.
ensemble.
You're doing it,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
why not?
Yeah, the
So,
candle.
Some guy with chains walked in. We can't explain it.
I mean, I can, but it's going to take
Sure,
a while.
yeah.
Yeah.
Over there in the lounge. This has been a while.
Which one's my camera?
We have the shared camera experience of Uncle Nephew Shane, the forthcoming spinoff for the season, holiday season of
Holiday season.
Uncle Nephew Shane, and also please welcome the Don,
How you doing?
the chosen Don.
Good to see you.
Great shirts, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I like that
Welcome
a lot.
in. It's
You
good
got,
to see
you
you
got a
guys.
Rolling Stone thing going on?
No, it's
A
It's
Rocky
a
Horror.
Horror picture. Huh?
nope, not even that.
It's
my lips.
It's just dental
Those.
work.
It's
Just my
your
lips.
Does Frank,
Sponsored
Frank,
by
do you
Health
remember?
Smile.
Those.
Yeah. You know what this shirt is? It's very special, and it pertains to
Queen.
me and everything I love.
Queens of the Stone Age.
No, well, besides Queen of the Stone Age.
I was like, that's a good guess.
No, that's a great guess, Paul.
It's a
I pay
Kiss.
attention.
It is not Kiss, no.
Is it
Dairy Queen?
I don't know. Is it Dairy Queen?
It's Gillian Anderson's lips.
Oh my word! X Files.
X-Files.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Would have
my.
That is
never
a very
guessed that.
niche
Yeah.
shirt then.
Yeah, she put this out to honor everything about women. So it was a what do you call that? Like a special. You buy this shirt, we donate this.
Oh, cool. So
shrimp-
proceeds go to
Proceeds
something.
go
Okay.
to
The
so
X Files.
It goes to
The truth is out there.
reruns of the X Files. So
You know, I've only
that's
seen
what
like
it is.
2 episodes of that show.
What, X-Files?
The X Files.
I've only watched like 2 episodes.
I remember
X-Files is a
one
good show.
time a while back ago, they merged
Waka waka.
Cops with X-Files. And they tried to make the X-Files episode like an episode of Cops where it was real. And my brother and I were like little. And we're like, oh, this is real. Oh my God. I can't believe Scully Mulder.
They should have put Reno 911 with the X-Files.
Yes, exactly.
That'd be nice, dude.
That's awesome.
Brand new aliens. Boom. Check it
We've
out.
got a full house. We're gonna have some other guest
John
appearances later on.
Damn.
It's like,
Earthquake in Vegas.
One of those
Well, it's
40X things.
it's like TRL.
Hold me.
CRL.
I'm dating myself.
I got it. It was
Guys,
good, yeah.
thank you. Earlier this week, I think we've all been talking about the show that is Fallout. Everyone has been binging it. We're talking about, this would have been cool if they waited like a week at a time to put it out, and they put all the 8 episodes. Because what's his name? Phil Taylor, One True Nerd King. He was talking about. He's like, well, now it's over. It's like, now what do I do?
Yeah, I kind of felt like that too.
What did you think about the show? What about the incredible Walton Goggins? Is that his name?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of mentioned the fact that he's in everything. I did not even put 2 and 2 together that he's Cecil in Invincible. Did not even think about that. I didn't play the game as much, so Donovan is like the super fan of this. Me and Paul are kind of,
Donovan's gonna go last because he's gonna have the most to say.
I would like to say Shane and I are going to go last.
So you two versus me and
You do
Paul
have to share a camera.
why are we
versus the debate later.
What are we debating?
It's not a
You already know.
thing.
But I thought the show was great. The Ghoul is definitely
You
my
already
favorite.
know.
You already know what we're gonna debate later.
Wrestling.
You already know.
Like Flair.
I'm trying not to get so unhinged this early, but I mean, I guess I'm not even drinking today. I
I
thought
was
the
gonna
show was
say the
great.
wheels are coming off, but they were never on.
All right, go ahead. Sonny, go ahead. I got to
good.
know what you think.
It was good.
It's good.
No, I thought it was probably the best video game adaptation for a show other than the best one that's out. which
I
is,
agree. I think that's a wonderful way to put it, and I don't think anyone should be upset by that.
Well,
And I think Shane is.
it was great.
upset.
Yeah.
Paul, what'd you think?
I really like it.
You're not finished yet, quite yet.
No, I have 2 episodes to go, but not for lack of enjoyment. It's just there's
Time.
only so many hours in a day.
I watched it all in one day.
And here's a testament to the quality, and it's more because it's all out yet and Shogun isn't. But I decided to finish this before I finish Shogun. There's still another Shogun episode to come out, so I figured I'd wait for it to come out and then binge it.
Nice.
Which I think is maybe an argument for releasing everything at once, because I probably would have finished all of Shogun if it was already out. But because it's not, I'm like, I'll wait. But no, Fallout's really cool. I like how all the characters feel like characters you could have made and done a playthrough as in the
for sure.
game. They even Bethesda released the stats
Yeah.
for each character,
The
so you
special-
can play
yeah,
through
I
as
like
them.
that a lot.
And I think this show has done exactly what I hoped it would. It has taken the incredibly interesting concept that is the game,
Yeah.
that a lot of people love the gameplay of and everything. I personally do not love the gameplay of Fallout. It's a lot of wandering around an empty desert.
Don't piss them off.
No,
so
I'm
much.
just being honest. Like that, I've always had a really hard time getting through it.
We're talking about the show. That's all.
But I'm saying that the TV show has done a great job of using those giant, open, vast landscapes in an interesting way. A lot of the wide shots of a character standing in like the ruins of a nuclear like bomb that exploded a city. I know it was not the best English. Sorry. But
speak.
I was afraid
Exploded a
Sonny was
city.
going to make fun of me. But no, it's really
coming.
cool. Lucy is the coolest character. She is awesome.
Yeah, I want an Okie Dokie t-shirt.
Yeah, she's dope. I love her, and I like all the characters. I thought I wasn't gonna like Maximus at first. I didn't
Same.
love him in the first episode, but he got better he seemed like a real weirdo at first.
He did.
Oh,
we were made a weirdo.
one thing but no, that's not really what I meant.
He's just
But,
a virgin.
being
one
a
thing
weirdo.
I don't love about the show is how not metal the Brotherhood of Steel suits look. They look like rubber.
like cosplayers.
They
Brotherhood
look
of
like
Cardboard.
rubber or
Yeah, but
or
I've seen
plastic.
worse than that.
No, okay.
When it
I'm not
comes
saying
to-
it's the worst thing I've ever seen, but I'm watching it and I have no false pretense that is supposed to be metal.
Brotherhood of Ceramic Tile.
No, literally, Brotherhood of foam. Like it's definitely a foam suit that the dude is
No,
wearing.
for sure.
And they decided not to enhance it with CGI because they probably didn't have the budget for that. And I would prefer them to have done what they did. So I like that. But I wish maybe the budget was a little better so they could shine the suit up a little bit because it looks a little dull.
see-
As
Do you
far
see
as
anything
design,
bending though? Out of and I looked for it. I was wondering if you see anything like bending,
Bending or warping.
You know
No,
what I mean?
No, they did a great job at it.
I didn't notice
I didn't
anything like that.
It's a really expensive cosplay suit.
I think
Or
it's
did it
really
wet and
well
fall
done for
apart?
what it is. It's just the one thing that every once in a while took me out of it. I was like, this looks like someone put this together in a shop.
What about you, Sleepyhead?
Well, I'm at a unique disadvantage here because I've been traveling for work the last week.
Very good.
And I adore Fallout. I've been a lifelong Fallout fan. I've been super excited for this show. Well, actually, there were stages. They announced there was the show, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be awesome. And then they're like, Amazon's doing the show. I'm like, oh, no, this is going to suck.
Yeah, because of Halo, right?
Yeah, I just thought it was...
No, because of Lord of the Rings.
And yeah, it was mostly Lord of the
goddamn
Rings.
son.
Yeah, that was why.
Wow.
And then when we got back to Jonathan Nolan, I was like, okay, it's a coin flip.
Yeah.
It could be really good or it's going to be really bad, but there's going to be no in between. I've gotten to watch an episode. I'm waiting to watch the rest when I get home with Kirsten, and it was phenomenal for the pilot. And I mean, I've heard everything. I'm sure I'll get spoilers as we go through. That's just the risk of coming to hang out here after the show. And that's another reason why I wish that they'd done it a week at a time. Just because I feel like everyone's now really liked it. I think you drop shows all at once that the people are worried that it's just not going to work.
It's true. I think that's probably what they were suffering from. I mean, they've done a lot of those like projects where they drop like 3 episodes and then kind of wait. Which probably would have been beneficial because I'm in the group of people where I'm like, now what the hell do I watch?
Right.
If you haven't,
I gotta watch
Shogun.
Shogun. Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to
Shogun.
get. I'm waiting for it to finish.
Well,
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Sunday night was like HBO night, whatever. Like you had like the show that you're going to watch every Sunday night that you do.
Yeah.
Like this could potentially be something that was like an event type of viewing series. I mean, it definitely. I've only seen the three.
Oh, so you didn't.
I've seen like 3.5 episodes.
Okay.
Well, they
But
clearly
I really enjoyed it.
They clearly invested in it. Like they put a lot of money into this show.
The look of it, everything. I love Lucy as well. I love Lucy.
Oh,
So you know what's? I'm glad you brought that back up. You'll never guess who just texted me. My girlfriend texted me and said, "Oh, you love Lucy?"
Yeah,
You're in trouble.
So,
See, I knew it.
No, you
Paul
love
went-
Liz.
When Paul said
You're
that,
spoken for.
that week, when Paul said, like, Paul actually gave, what's her name? Ella Purnell? Is her name? Is her real name?
The actress that
plays Lucy. When he gave her visual props.
when I said she was pretty,
Visual props. I was like,
props.
Paul just
I
did
like that.
like in front of everybody. He did that. Like usually doesn't do that. So that's how I know.
babe, I wasn't hitting on her. I was giving her visual props.
That's a good. That's a good way to put it.
My girlfriend bought a candle with the name of a book character today. I'm alled to say Ella Burnett was pretty.
She's a very good looking.
Damn that Harry Potter.
That's not nearly as childlike.
She's
Looks
good
like
looking.
a little smoot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ooh. Oh.
What about you over there, Lips?
I love it. I love it so much. It's a good show, and I like it a whole bunch.
Are you familiar with the games and all that stuff? You played everything?
Now,
No?
No, of course not.
I don't need that.
All right.
You know why? Because
I don't need
Christopher
that,
Nolan and Lisa Joy did Westworld as well.
Jonathan Nolan.
I mean, yeah, Jonathan Nolan. Is
You
it
know what
Jonathan
you're
Nolan?
talking
What
about.
did I say?
It's
Yeah.
Jonathan.
What did I say?
Christopher
Chris.
Nolan.
Oh, I'm sorry. But they did Westworld as well. So
Westworld's great.
and Westworld, the first season of Westworld is really, really
I haven't
great.
watched anything but the first season. So.
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember that, Donovan?
He's on
Westworld Oh yeah.
So, thinking of that, it put me in the mindset that this should be pretty good because, and there's a lot of things in it that remind me of Westworld. They was like, you know what I mean? Like the ghoul reminds me of the Man in Black of Westworld. You know what I mean?
Fair.
So,
A lot of parallels with there.
a lot of parallels.
Sure.
So,
A lot of parallels.
when it came to,
That was good.
were you doing your Trump right there?
No.
What is that?
It was phenomenal.
That
That
was
was
just
his
stretching.
Oh,
Just throw a little bit in there.
When I was watching it, I lost my train of thought. Thank you, Sonny.
Sorry, you're old.
The parallels with Westworld. The Man in Black is the ghoul. Sonny loves you.
Yeah. Like Jonathan Nolan and the things that he makes.
Oh yeah, so that's all. So that's awesome, and everything is great with that. So when I sat down to actually, and I finished the whole thing. So the best thing about this show is even the season finale, or even that sticks the landing. Like we learn new things in the season finale. And it could have been a horrible thing where it could have been like the show From, where you don't care about anything that's happening. They just raise more questions than answers. This show actually answers a bunch of stuff, and it gets us prepared for next season. So, and they say next season is already written; it's already basically in the can. All I got to do is film it. So,
That's good.
You know, I think it's great.
And they're saying old boy from Breaking Bad might be in it.
Yeah, Aaron Paul wants to be
Aaron
part.
Paul
okay.
might be in it, just like in Westworld. Aaron Paul joined the
Right,
cast
he's
of
got
Westworld.
those connections
Oh shit!
to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
So when it comes to being one of the best video game adaptations, I gotta say, it's at least it's right there with Last of Us.
I won't disagree.
It's
with that.
I won't disagree
it's
with that.
on par with Last of Us,
I don't know about
and it might be a scotch
I think it might be
better.
like-
Now you're talking.
I think it
in
might
my-
be like a bogey, but
No, I think
Compared to Last of Us, but-
you know
You're
why?
watching the
Because more
Masters.
things happen in this show than happened on The Last of Us. That's all. I'm not saying it's a totally different show, but I'm saying a lot more things happen in this show than Last of Us. For to do side by side first season comparisons, you know, I love
think
Last of Us. Don't get me wrong. But
before Donovan goes on his what word should I use? Diatribe? I don't know. But
bad.
You want to come write the 2 articles I have left to do after this? I'll go straight to the bar. It'll be great.
I will say, I think as a whole, I like the first season of Last of Us better. It had higher highs than Fallout, but Fallout was more consistent in that I think
You're
I
not
haven't
done
seen
yet.
the finale of Fallout yet.
Yeah, you're not
but
done
the
yet.
finale of The Last of Us was the only thing I didn't love, and it was a little bit rushed.
Fair.
And I still liked it very
Right.
much.
Then check out Fallout. Then tell me what you know.
I'm not going to watch any more.
I'll be quiet, you. I'm just saying. Let's see if by the time you get to the end of this,
As
we'll
of
see
right
where it
now,
lays.
I
Lies.
like Last of
Lays
Us.
lies.
The episode.
Yeah, you kind of.
with-
I don't know. You didn't even finish it, so why are you even arguing? Like,
I'm
yeah,
allowed
that's
to
not-
say what I want about whatever I want.
You didn't
Yeah,
even
you
finish
best
it.
believe.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, now
Next
Donovan.
episode's into Last of Us. I liked it more.
Now somebody who is articulate is sitting right next to me.
Articulated.
The man in black himself.
No, I am not
The
articulate.
Big Daddy.
So,
Big Daddy Don.
Big Daddy D.
Dog.
I love this show. I told the guys in a group chat that we have that this is the best video game adaptation I've ever seen, and it's better than Last of Us. And I think we're gonna get into this whole like, oh no, Last of Us is better because of this, or no, Fallout's better. But really, it all boils down to is what game did you play more, and you're gonna have your bias towards that.
I might have played Fallout.
Oh, maybe. Okay.
That's a good.
I played neither.
I played Last
That's
of
the
Us
thing, I played neither.
one time through. And I loved the game. I thought it was a great story. I thought it made me feel a lot of things. I have been playing Fallout since 1997, since I was 8 years old. I've been playing that game for a very long time. So
He's
all
old
of them.
Since you're 8 years old.
That's right.
He's 10
Math.
years old
So
now. Math.
when I watched this show, I was like Cam, I was super nervous going into it. And I even brought it up to you guys. I was like, Amazon's doing it. Look what they did to our beloved Halo. Like they made Master Chief this guy who's just cool with taking his helmet off and talking to guys like, hey, yeah, I'm Master Chief, whatever. Like it's
that.
terrible. It's
Paramount
absolutely
Plus?
terrible. And it
It's
ruins the
Paramount,
lore of
it's
the
not
story.
Yeah.
Now you get to Fallout and it is all lore. It is all everything that you have watched in the game. I can't even like begin to explain how amazing it really, really is because you're given 3 different perspectives and each character that you're playing could be a route that you could go in the game.
Yeah,
you
I
could
know.
be a
Sure, yeah.
gunslinger who's slick and just destroys everything. You could be a guy who's part of this Brotherhood of Steel that seems to be good, but you're not really sure.
Yep.
You don't have an identity. You don't have a home. You're looking for a home. That's also another character you can play. And then you've got the Lucy, who's more diplomatic, strategic, smart, likes to talk to people and get things going through before deciding to fight, which is
Yeah.
how I would always play the game. I always played it as a diplomat.
Gunslinger for sure.
That's because the dialogue of the games is just
So
that
good.
fun.
And you can get so much more things in the game by having a really good piece of dialogue with somebody as opposed to fighting your way through it and having to try and find something. That's a whole nother conversation.
Now there's 7. I don't know because I haven't played any of it. There's 7 games. Is that right? Or 6
There's a
games? so
lot.
far,
There's a
right?
major shift in tone
Yeah.
and play
And-
style
and
around
there's
the
a
third
3.
one.
And there's a lot of different timelines.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
the first one
Or they- or
happens.
they-
they're,
connected.
they're not in like chronological
Yeah, they're not in
order,
order at all.
but they are all in the same
And
time.
the first
Okay.
2 are like a top-down kind
old
of
school GTA.
old
Yeah.
school kind of GTA.
Did you ever play StarCraft?
Yeah.
It's
little bit.
StarCraft.
Hell
it's
yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah,
an
it
RPG.
is.
It's like
It's
an
like
RPG
yeah.
for that. It's the same
Punch-Out.
guys who made it. Oh no, Blizzard made StarCraft. Anyway,
Zerks. And
but
Did
yeah,
you ever
but
play
it,
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out?
it turned.
Tecmo
It
Bowl.
turned on the third one. The third one turned into a first-person shooter, and you could switch between going from first to third, which is really great. But there's a lot of really great things in this show that I love. The story is so well crafted, and this is why I think I like it more than Last of Us. Last of Us, I've mentioned it to you guys. We know what's coming. We know what's going to happen. Even in this next season, we know what's going to happen. People are like, oh, Pedro Pascal just got done filming. He ended his thing super quick and the season's not over. And I was like,
They don't know.
But right, we know that going into this. But going into season 2 of Fallout, what do you guys know what's going to happen?
They're gonna fall.
Out.
We don't know which direction yet. It could be in.
It's gonna fall
Oh,
out.
fall
The
in.
maniacs.
Season 2, fall in.
Is everybody a maniac on this show?
So anyway,
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what
think-
you expected to happen there, Donovan.
Exactly.
I know.
I guess
Did you think we would concede?
They're insane. And, but yeah, this is why I turned it over to Donovan, because Donovan explains this in a way that I agree with him 100%.
I agree. I think one thing I like super agree with Donovan on is the dialogue. It's very reminiscent of the game, and the game can be kind of silly and ridiculous, but I think it adapts that very well. Frankie, what did you think
What you've seen so far.
of what
Well,
you've seen
okay,
so far?
so I don't know like the whole lore, and I didn't play the games. I had a different aspect of the Last of Us series because I watched Jonathan play those games for years.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, he wasn't supposed to be playing them, but whatever. And I had a great time watching him, and I knew the whole story going into the show. I knew zero about Fallout except that there were these people that were stuck in a vault, and that there was a civilization that was cut off because of a nuclear fallout, and then the world had ended and everything. I didn't know anything. So walking in, I kind of walked into it blind. I didn't know anything about this, the background story, whatever. I love the way that it's built out. I like the fact that they give you a little bit of a backstory about the ghoul prior to you finding out all this other stuff after the
Gets better and
time
better
had
as
gone
the show
by.
goes.
Oh my God.
But
his story is really
I
cool.
love the dynamic of Lucy, just how naive she is.
Yeah.
Just like she's
Yeah.
just not aware. She's like, everybody's, everybody shouldn't be mean. Everybody should just be friendly and nice, whatever. And then she's just getting snapped at left and right. And the guy, she offers the water to
I
the
love
guy,
that, dude.
whatever. He
He's
just
just like-
drinks whole bottle. She's like, well, okay. Well, all right.
I needed that.
I needed some of the water too, whatever.
Someone offers you
mad.
water.
And he's like, I'll be dead soon. You can have all this if you want. We can have a family, whatever. And she's just like, okay, well, nice to meet you. She just like
going
keeps
to Philly.
it was, I've loved the whole style of it. Maximus is like you said, I didn't really care for him that much at first, but I like him a little
Towards
bit
the end.
as the show's been going along. And the ghoul is a fun character. So
Yeah.
Cool is awesome.
it's been fun so far. I'm excited for the rest of the season, how it plays out. I think it may be consumed a little differently, Cam, if we were able to watch it on a weekly basis.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's been
Also,
it's
it's
been
a-
fun so far.
It's a show that as a fan, like I need time to like process, because there were just, even in the pilot, there were just so many little moments
Sure.
that I was just like slapping Kirsten, be like, look, like when the junk cannon, they use the junk cannon,
Yeah,
and they didn't
yeah.
reference it or anything. It's just like, if you didn't know, the game,
Yep.
you wouldn't get it. And they didn't make a thing of it. They're like,
Yeah.
here it is. It was just like, they
just
used
was
it. It's just
there.
there.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
did it
Yeah,
smart
yeah,
too, with like the baby arm coming
Yeah,
out of the guy.
exact-
Like you knew what it
Well,
was.
that was-
just a gun that shoots junk.
were like,
And that was the
oh,
first
they're
thing I was
doing it.
like, when I saw that, I was like, no way.
Yeah, I thought the same.
And I also like the fact that they didn't, I guess, make the facts like too slick. Like the stim pack was very much like looked exactly like the
Yeah.
stim pack from
Yep.
the game, to the point where it's just like, this is it. They didn't try to like change it for the screen
Nope.
or
For sure.
whatever.
Yeah.
It was
I
just
like
kind of
that.
comically large, and
With
I think as
Pip-Boy,
far as
yeah,
the
Pip-Boy.
releases, though, like I think what works about, I think you're going to see a lot of different streaming platforms kind of change the way they release things. Like I think for a show like Fallout being right out of the gate is like, okay, maybe not a lot of people played the game. I'll admit, I don't think there is as many people who have played a game like Fallout versus, for example, Last of Us, because that's what we've been using for this. Last of Us was more of a critically renowned game. Fallout was more of a legacy game that has spanned the test of time for the last 20
Yeah,
something
New
years.
Vegas probably got the most
yeah,
critical.
that's, I
And-
mean, people are still like, that's
Yeah.
the best one.
Yeah, and Last of Us is very recent too. So it's very recent on the zeitgeist of people. So you can go, okay, can't wait for next week, as opposed to a Fallout. You go, I know nothing about it. Am I going to watch the first episode and go, can't wait for that next week? Or am I going to go, I need to know more if I'm going to really like this? And I
Sure,
think
you
a
know
lot
what?
of
That's a
companies
great
are.
point.
But I think a lot of companies are going to release their things and then go, okay, if it's a success, next season it'll be episodic.
I think
Maybe.
I think they knew they had a good show on their hands, but I think they were worried that it was just too niche.
Yeah.
Because like-
exactly.
Like the thing is though, like it's a great show with great writing and great characters. Like Kirsten has watched me play Fallout since we've been together, for 5 years. She's familiar with the world. She's like, I thought it would be a good vibe, but she's like, at the end of the episode, I'm invested in all three of the main characters very deeply, and she keeps texting me. It's just like, I can't believe you had to make us watch it before you went. And I was like, well, I just wanted to see it.
Oh, you saw the first episode, and then you came here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I wanted to get at least one episode. I could.
Person.
I had to. Yeah, I'm very bad. Yeah, I'm doing my evil playthrough right now.
My only fear with some of the games like this, though, is like if they get too ahead of the games. Like I'm worried that if like Last of Us Season 2 does really, really well,
they'll try to do a third.
They'll do a third season before the game comes out.
Third game is in kind of development.
Right. So is the next book for Game of Thrones too. And look how that turned out.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's the worry that I have for coming out with really successful shows before the product comes out first. As we're like Fallout, you have so much material to work with, as opposed to Last of Us. You're kind of what's the word? Constricted,
hamstrung.
Hamstrung, constricting the ham. But yeah, but that's not to say Last of Us is like one of the best shows I've ever watched.
Yeah, I like it.
It really is. Like,
Is there
I
enough
really do
source
love
material
that show.
for multiple seasons for
well,
Fallout?
they could do this
There's a lot of stuff they could do.
It's just a world.
They could go
You can
back
just
to
have
the
fun.
same time frame with a different character's perspective.
I'm saying
Every
from
game
what
is in
they're
a
pulling
different
from the
city,
game, they
too.
can do
Yeah.
a bunch of seasons.
Yeah, there's Washington D.C. is in the third one. Boston is in the fourth one. LA's in the show.
They do
Boulder
the
City.
whole
Do they go to
state
Boulder
of
City?
West Virginia.
It just looks the same. It looks
So
like Boulder
the-
City
Looks
right
like
now.
Boulder City now.
The
Vegas
thing that I wish that they could have done was it really stinks that he passed away in general, but it would have been really cool to see Matthew Perry play the character that he played in the game.
Oh,
Yeah.
in New
That
Vegas.
was very
The
cool.
core, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and another thing I was gonna say, George R.R. Martin kind of
Except
did
for
that
the
to
fact
himself.
that he's dead.
Yeah.
He still hasn't released the last two books for Game of Thrones, so you can't really blame the producers for going ahead of that. They couldn't wait 10 years between the last two seasons.
They should've.
I know, but what happened to the Game of
maybe they
Thrones?
should've.
We love the way it ended.
But and then
On that last season,
the
maybe
last
should've.
thing I wanted to say that I really like about this is it makes every single person seem viable. Like Lucy, her compassion and her drive to do the right thing. There's a specific point. I don't know if you've gotten to it yet. I think it's in the end of episode 4.
He hasn't gotten there.
Where I'm not gonna say what it is, but her compassion is seen as a strength. She basically says to the ghoul, "You're saying I'm gonna become this one thing, and I'm not, and that's okay, and that's a strength."
Yeah.
And she leaves, and I'm like, I love that. I love that they didn't just
Make
diminish
her-
her compassion as like, oh, she's got to become a horrible person just like everybody else.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Haven't finished the show yet.
Okay, well, maybe she does. And I don't know how I'll feel if she ends up becoming that, but I do like the point where
You finished it.
she
Yeah.
does the right thing.
Yeah.
Shane, you finished the show.
Yeah.
And Donovan finished it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's one of the
Awesome
reasons
ending, though.
I have a hard time getting into things like
So
Game of
good.
Thrones, because when everybody sucks, I'm like, who cares about these characters?
Yeah, but I don't
Yeah.
think it's
She
so
doesn't
much
suck by
like
the end.
she doesn't suck so much by the end, but I think she kind of realizes that there's not like a white and black situation. There's kind of a gray
Correct.
area which you kind of have to adapt to things.
Yeah,
you know
Right,
what
but I mean, like, as far as like, I would like to see her keep her compassion, and she
Her
loses it.
moral
I'm gonna
compass will
I'm gonna
stay
be
intact.
actually,
Yeah, her moral compass will stay intact, but she's kind of more down to
because
just
if
off
they
people.
take that away from her, then she's no different from any of the other characters.
Yeah, her moral. The way they ended it is like, okay, her moral compass is there, but she is now more than ever not afraid to defend herself. more
Sure,
than
and
she was
I'm
before.
super down for that. And that's what I liked about episode 4.
Yeah.
Her compassion was still intact, but she was clearly down to protect herself. And like the wardrobe change kind of reflected that. And I thought
There's a
that was
great
really cool.
I won't spoil it, but there's a great conversation between her and the ghoul later on
Yeah.
that you're really going to like
Yep.
and appreciate.
Okay, yeah.
The way I
She
see
doesn't-
it with. Go ahead.
She doesn't fall for anything
She doesn't fall
like
out
she
for
does.
anything.
She doesn't,
She doesn't
fall, out.
for anything.
Gosh, I
I like
sort
the
of.
rollout.
When
I
I
sorta
see
wish.
her, when I see her after the first couple episodes, I think about like being. I was active in church, like a youth group, and there were like kids from all over the city, and then we had like this group of like homeschool kids, and like the homeschool kids were like a certain way.
Oh,
Vault
You just
dwellers.
spray water on them.
Kind of
They got a little
felt
crazy.
kind of felt like that level of exposure to like other stuff.
They're like, oh my god.
Don't feed them after midnight.
It was like you felt like
the sun.
you know what I mean? Like it kind of felt like to that degree of like just like the
Separation.
exposure to. Well, I'm going out on the surface, something like that. It's like the equivalent of like the girl coming
That
to
is a great
the
analogy.
group because she's like, well, I'm home with my family and you're drinking soda. You know, it's like that kind of an
Drinking
equivalent.
soda in public, they're like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's similar.
This show has given me hope for if they ever try to do like a Dark Souls, Elden Ring kind of game. Put it in the world and then just act as if you're building a character in that game. Don't try
Yeah.
to like root it in anything else. Make the world what it was in the game, and then you can do what you want with the characters, and people will
Right.
love it.
RPGs
That's a
are
great
hard
idea.
to adapt for television.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm really glad that this is good.
Yeah.
Even
Super
though I don't think
successful.
it's as good as the last.
Super successful.
And I hope it brings in more people to the franchise. And I say that
Sure,
as a person who actually still plays 76 sometimes.
I'm sure
I
they'll
heard
come.
that game started off terribly and got a lot better with
it's,
patches.
Yeah, it's great
aged
now.
well.
I'm
Yeah,
sure they're going to come out with a new game at some point with the success of the show.
Yeah, but it's
Maybe.
way down the path. 'Cause They still got like a Elder Scrolls coming out. They
Oh, from the studios.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bethesda's. I
They
don't
got a lot of stuff on
necessarily
their
always
hands.
trust Bethesda. But.
Or Rockstar for that matter. When's GTA 6
yeah,
coming
which
out?
one? Yeah, which one are we
Just
going to
got
get
pushed
first?
back
Fallout
again.
5 or
My son's going to graduate high school and that game's not gonna be out
Skyrim.
yet.
That's fair.
3 or whatever.
It's the only game that I've played on 3 different
GTA?
consoles. Yeah, or GTA, the last one.
I knew it.
when
Yeah.
Todd Howard hears this, he's going to kick down your door and give you Skyrim.
Oh well, that's true. That's true.
It's now ported on everything.
Oh wow,
Yeah, probably.
that's
You can probably get like a PSP port, Game Boy Advance port, Skyrim.
Damn.
No, not really.
I'm like, damn.
You know
Really?
what?
But now that Todd Howard knows it's out there, the option is out there.
Like a
he's gonna
Game
do
Boy?
it. Yeah.
You know what my favorite thing to like watch on YouTube in relation to Skyrim is the horse skipping, where like you go to
Yes.
the top of a mountain and to like speed run the game, you like glitch your horse into a certain spot, and it literally flings your horse hundreds of miles across the map, and then you
Yes.
land perfectly fine and you can continue. Or you like exit out and then go back in, and it reloads your save over the area your horse flung over, so you can get to a different part of the game. It's fascinating.
I mean, that is really crazy how people even find
Horse
glitches
flung.
like this
It's
stuff
Skyrim,
in,
right?
in games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Skyrim.
Yeah, that's because the game has been out since the dawn of time, and
No,
now
no, yeah.
everyone's figured out every glitch in the game because they haven't made
can
a
do
new
Well,
one.
anything.
even with Elden Ring, there's stuff like that. You can
Sure.
that game came out 2 years ago, and you can glitch
Horse
like
flung.
past certain spots to speedrun it. Like you can beat Elden Ring in like 7 minutes if you're like incredibly savvy at like the dynamics
glitches.
and stuff like that.
That game made me mad.
Horse
but,
flung.
But yeah, so that's fun to watch on the internet. Yeah, that's all I have
Fling
to say.
that horse.
Cam, I just want to say that we appreciate you hanging out this past weekend at
Yeah, that was
UFC,
awesome.
and we
Yeah.
appreciate you sleeping until then in the studio.
That's crazy.
I hope,
I appreciate not having to pay the resort fee. Thanks for waiving that.
and you know, because of where we're at in
problem.
downtown Las Vegas, Quan, our producer, doesn't charge resort fees.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so he waived the resort fees.
Oh, I thought you just did that just for
Quan is-
me, but apparently that was just
Yeah.
the standard.
Sorry,
Okay,
man.
well, never mind.
The wheels
Sorry.
are turning
Not
in Quan's
special.
head right now. He's like, oh man,
Resort fees. Yeah.
it's an extra $50 I gotta get.
Let somebody sleep on the couch for $600 a night.
but
Plus resort fee.
That
Yeah.
plus resort fee and internet. Cam, we appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out tonight with us.
Shotgun beers in the corner.
The shotgun,
you know
go
it.
slam a couple. We got hockey and all the other stuff on. Whatever. While we're bringing our next guest through here, Shane, I wanted to ask you: do you think that with the adaptations of what they're doing with the video games into these live-action series, with the shows like Last of Us, with shows now like Fallout, we could be getting a Legend of Zelda film or series or something down the line? Nick had mentioned
what?
that down
I
there in
think
the
so.
chat. It's been talked about that
Tom
there could be
Holland.
a film or something like that. Oh, maybe Tom Holland.
I
Do you
think
think that the video game kind of like that genre sort of turns a corner? Because back when we were young bucks,
Yeah.
right? When we were young bucks, they used to have horrible adaptations of anything martial arts and stuff. Some of that stuff has continued, like the Mortal Kombat films, Street Fighter, back
Barely.
then, all those
Yeah.
things.
Barely.
Like those are kind of brutal, you know. But have we kind of turned a corner, or is it just because story has bailed us out?
I just think that
as long as there's interest, the better they make these things, I think the more we'll get. Like, of course, you said it. There's been a time where like all of them were terrible. Like a lot of these things were terrible. They've just started to make halfway decent adaptations of video games for screen, whether it's television or movies. Movies have always been bad, but Donovan said it earlier. Halo is only okay. I think
No, it's terrible. It's
Ooh,
not
I
okay.
wouldn't even go okay, brother.
I mean, they at least gave it a second season, is what I'm saying. So I'm thinking in that world, at least they're trying to hang on to try to fix it in some way, shape, or form. Is season 2 bad as well with Halo?
I've heard
But
it's
it doesn't
better.
even matter because he already took his helmet off.
It's already out.
Yeah, season
I
2
never saw
came
it.
out already.
It's like when Zack Snyder decided that Batman was going to kill people. Like,
It's like you just can't go back.
fundamentally
Yeah, it's
disagree
over.
The
with
creator
way
of
you-
cinema, Zack Snyder.
Can we talk about him
Oh,
for a
don't
minute?
get me started on that idiot.
Dude. So he's like, if
Better
you
put some respect
so,
on
so
his
what
name.
did he say?
He
in
said
the, GQ
if you decide that you like, if you don't like my movies or you don't like what I do, then you are in favor of focus groups and corporations.
dude, this guy hasn't made a movie that wasn't for Netflix or Warner Brothers in
He's got
over
you
30
pegged.
years.
Yeah.
Hey,
Damn.
What?
hey,
Talk
bro,
about
you don't make good movies.
Well, even past that though, like even if he did, he's not some champion of the small man. This dude made Dawn of the Dead, which was already a big studio remake in 2002. Then he made 300, which was a large studio adaptation of one of the most popular
Panel, by the way,
comic writers.
copy of Frank Miller's book. Just want to throw that out
And
there.
Watchmen too.
And the only
Watchmen
two,
too.
the only two
the end.
non-IP things he's made recently is Rebel Moon, which I mean strictly isn't a non-IP thing.
And
It's
that movie sucks.
It is
Whoa.
obviously it is so
Sunny.
derivative of Star Wars and Magnificent Seven and Seven Samurai to come out and act like that's some kind of incredibly original piece of art, dude.
Listen, making movies
high?
is
Like, are
hard.
you
Talk
okay?
to them.
So I don't know. Like he just always says
So I don't
something
know. It was
that's
all
like,
right. I give it an
like, what are
A.
you talking?
Zack
the new
Snyder
one
needs to
doesn't-
remake Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
He needs to remake.
I agree. That movie is
Death
dope.
Race. I don't know.
Well,
Guys, look it up.
thanks for Barney being here. What's up, Marcus?
Please welcome another guest over here. We got Barney at the table. Barney ShimpSons Comics joins us.
Not bad.
Over there in the lounge, you see him. He's got the glasses. He's coordinated. He's looking great. Brother
yo.
Marcus is
Are they
here.
lighting up?
Are they lighting up or are you having a seizure?
Are they lighting up or is it the color?
No, they're lighting.
Oh,
They're blinking.
What if we all started just going into it?
My man's got the mega powers going on in his glasses, dude.
Right.
Good evening, everybody. Yeah.
You look like one of
Marcus!
the henchmen villains in Demolition
Ooh,
Man.
loving that Punisher shirt. Marcus's Punisher shirt is dope.
Like you
Just
came out of
made
the
it,
sewer
baby.
to
Green
eat Taco
shirt.
Bell.
Barney, we were talking about Fallout. Do you have any thoughts about the show? Have you seen any of the
Have you seen anything?
I
Fallout?
did. I'm 5 in. I was very much. My son played it a lot.
Nice.
So that's how I got my introduction to the world. So trying to compare it between Last of Us, it's completely two different shows.
That's totally fair.
Yes.
But for me, I actually enjoy Fallout more. For me, because it's
And
more
Barney's gone. Thanks for being on today.
because it's more
Barney,
entertaining.
Barney.
Okay.
That's
It's-
fair.
You're looking at you're looking at a future apocalyptic world where there's it's complete unknowns of what's going to happen. Where Last of Us is, it's not. You don't see what's coming because but there's nothing special that's going to happen. There's not this creature that comes out of this little.
Sure, I
know.
understand what you're saying. Yeah.
So it's different. So, but I find it more entertaining to watch.
The
it.
lore isn't as deep in Last of
So,
Us.
yeah. Last of Us, I'd watch it one time. I don't know if I'd watch it again. Fallout, I could see myself, putting it on again, working in the garage.
Would you say that Last of Us is more of a character? It's more of a focused character story
Yeah.
as opposed to a full world
Yeah.
scope story?
Last of Us is more Rogue One, more.
Oh, what a
more,
great analogy! I see where you're going
compared
with
to
this.
it. Compared to if you were to take Attack of the Clones, is more
Right.
Fallout for me. So
Interesting.
Now, not saying Attack of the Clones is anywhere near the level.
I'm like interested.
Fallout.
I see what you're saying.
In the entertainment,
vibe,
Sure.
in
Yes.
the entertainment echelon of
Scale.
pantheon
Vibes
of what
to
we're
Z.
trying to talk
Vibes.
about. So that's the vibes, I guess.
Listen,
So.
Barney is one cool.
More story versus
He's a
action.
cool
type of thing.
He's a
Don't
cool
forget.
man. He knows what he's talking about, Barney. I always
We
say
do
that.
need to issue a warning because Tim had just mentioned it in the chat. We do need to issue a warning. Marcus's glasses may cause seizures. Marcus, have you been watching Fallout?
I know how much you've seen, Marcus.
Do you charge
That's
your
all out.
glasses?
I do.
Okay. What have you
He's
thought?
not going to tell you where the plug
what have you
is
thought of the
right
show?
now, though.
He's excited. He's excited.
So actually, no, I haven't watched it. I want to watch
right.
it. I haven't yet.
Next.
Okay.
So
You need my password?
I
for
was
Prime?
excited because they even put it in the theater as a preview when I went and saw Monkey Man, and I was like, oh wow, Fallout's coming out.
Oh, that's
And then
pretty
I
cool.
saw that it was with Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, something that I just paused because I wasn't going to pay $130 a year. So I'll have to reattack that.
Okay.
Oh, so you
reattack.
haven't even watched Invincible?
No, I don't want to. I'd rather stick with the book on that one because
purist.
I saw the first couple of episodes and I was like, this feels way too condensed for me. So,
Sure, okay.
Yeah. So
All right.
I was just like, yeah, because there's a lot of good stuff. I see why they do condense it because they need to. But at the same time, it's like there's certain things that should be in there that kind of allow, more development in terms of who people are and the reasons why they're where they are and that kind of thing. Because there's like literally for example, in the first season, because the first season is basically the first 12 issues all in one. And what's interesting is it only takes like one panel to explain how the group became about, who's financing it and everything. Because a certain character actually talks about it and discusses it, which would have been cool to have in the actual, in one of the episodes. It would only take like 2 minutes, or a minute if that of screen time. So little things like that I think, I'm sure it's selective preference and
Yeah, sure.
and-
Give it a
book
shot.
is
It's
very-
really it's really good.
But the
Give it a
book is
shot.
very dear to you, and there's a lot of people who've read a book who won't watch something like I loved Dune Part 2, but there was definitely a bunch of stuff that I was like, the first time I watched it, I was like, whoa, this is moving really, really fast.
Well,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
fast.
Like
Right.
the worms.
right.
Yes, the worms were what
just
were moving.
just worming.
Yeah,
They were fast.
They're just worming
They were
away.
worming, bro.
Like the worm.
Dune 2 getting Dune.
Yeah.
Baby worm.
doing
Yeah.
it
Big
again.
worm, big
Still
pearl.
doing it. How many times are we
Sir
gonna make that
doing a
joke?
lot. The coming of Sir doing a lot.
We got a full house, and
We do.
I'm interested in what the boys have. Shane, can you give me some Copper Drop intro music, please?
Music?
Or like a jingle?
All right, everybody, get out your books, your schnooks. It's time once again for the most captivating show inside of the show, inside of the show. You know what I'm talking about? It's time for Cop or Drop.
That was good.
I'm gonna
Wow,
definitely make a
dude.
soundbite of that
Yeah, that was amazing.
and play it
Clip it.
while
Good job,
I'm taking
buddy.
a shower.
Wow,
Thank you.
that was really
proud
good.
of you.
I'm gonna go in reverse this time. Marcus, you go first.
Oh, all right.
Come on, Marcus.
All right. So, well, there's a lot of cool stuff that came out. I'm
seeing some cool stuff.
Yeah, what'd you bring?
Well, I'm a big fan of crossovers. And so Godzilla versus Mighty Morphin Power Rangers has started back again. Yep. And this is just again, I've covered this before and I'll cover it again. It's just a great turn your brain off fun comic. Just like watching cartoons, Saturday morning cartoons all over again. And you're
like World's Finest.
it's kind of basically. And it's set up you have the White Ranger and Rita is up to no good once again, and she's Rangers. that was actually kind of perfect.
That was really good.
And this time, this plan it looks like it's going to be some sort of setup for the White Ranger because he's jumping from dimension to dimension. It's kind of multiverse, basically. She's trying to eliminate the Power Rangers in different multiverses, and so she ends up. We end up finding ourselves in the dimension where Godzilla is
At any
around
point, does she make like a little clay figure of him and put him in an oven, and then he comes out A lot bigger than he was before.
Probably in the next couple of issues, I'm assuming, but not yet. Not yet.
Oh no, Rangers!
But a lot of fun, a lot of action. You know, got Godzilla back in the fray of things. So a lot of fun.
Dope.
And then this has been out for a little bit, but they finally came out with a trade paperback of it, and that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter.
Ooh.
So this is a 5-issue miniseries that came out, and these crossovers are just amazing. Art's amazing and everything. Issue 1 starts off with Raphael versus Guile. They're duking it out. It's a tournament that they're all coming together and they're fighting against each other. But of course, there's also shadiness going on. There's both fights both inside and outside the ring amongst the characters, as well as people turning up, possibly disappearing, possibly into some shady stuff that's going on. And it's again another turn your brain off and enjoy the ride. Very cool. Guile versus Guile versus Raphael, the first big fight you see from like page 1. Then it's like Chun-Li versus Michelangelo, and it's just
nice.
Yeah.
Shredder versus M. Bison. You get that at all? That'd be rad.
That would be pretty badass. Actually.
I'm sure if they do a part 2.
Toga Fire.
Dalsim. Yeah, Dalsim was my
Toga Flame.
But a lot of fun. This is definitely one that I think people should check out too, along the same lines of Godzilla versus Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And then just a quick shout out to Firepower. This one finally came out and trade the final arc of this 30-issue series, which has been excellent. This was among one of the first indie comics that I got into as well. And after the most recent hiatus of this, because every major arc, after the end of every major arc, the Kirkham and Samney, they would take a break. And so right after the break prior to this run, the last 5 issues coming out, that was when I was going through all the transition of a new job and leaving the retail side of comics and all that. So I missed the boat on this, but finally got a chance to pick this up and finish out what's been an incredible series. So Chris Samney artwork, Robert Kirkman. I mean, you can't go wrong. A lot of fun.
Very nice. Barney, you have some cool stuff over here that I feel like I'm going to be interested in. Can you talk about? No,
I'm good.
All right, Paul, what do you got?
Can I say no too?
I appreciate that.
Nope.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, thank you.
Please.
Son. Thank you, son.
Please.
Before I do, I would just like to mention how all of you are so honorific, abilitudinous to biz.
Oh, okay.
Longest word in William Shakespeare's dictionary.
Yeah. Very
Oh,
nice.
wow.
Very
Honorific,
nice.
abilitudinous to biz.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
Before I begin, I have presents.
Oh,
Got a collection.
Oh my
Frank knew about
goodness.
this. Got a little present.
Always bringing gifts.
And little PKJ.
Guy.
Oh, very cool.
Marvel Zombies Resurrection.
Very cool.
Very cool.
So
thank you.
On behalf of PKJ, who I'm not doing it on behalf of him, but on behalf of him. There you go. There you go.
All right.
For you guys too.
Why does he do that?
He knows how I feel about him.
One of my favorite covers.
On behalf of PKJ,
ever.
That
I'm
is
not
awesome.
doing this.
Very
On
cool.
behalf-
I was wondering about those.
Or maybe
Appreciate
she
you.
answered that lady
Thank you
that
so
called in a
much.
couple weeks ago, Babs.
Babs.
boy.
When she asked
Right, I
if
remember
what
what
was
she
his
called.
favorite jelly.
Ah,
He didn't answer.
he
so
didn't.
Yeah,
He
he
didn't need it as a kid.
And I got a gift for you too, Barney.
What is going on over there? It's like,
Pass this over to
Tell you right now, if it's chocolate ice cream.
He asked for that, and so
I did.
Brought back Space Negro. Nice.
That's Shane's alter
go ahead and
ego.
read.
That's right.
Go ahead and read the top right there. What does this say?
You go ahead.
Oh no, we'll just leave that off the show. No,
A million years in the future, a ninja still can't catch a
Oh,
break.
yes, except
Donovan,
for the
please.
ninja.
A
We're not
ninja
gonna
still
read
can't
that
catch a
on
break.
air.
So.
Why not? I give you.
he said,
I give you.
you
approval.
read it.
I give you. I give you approval. Go ahead.
No,
Paul.
but the show doesn't give him approval.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. So I brought a few things. Cover stuff only. Cover stuff only. You know, I collect the off stuff, the things that people don't really know about. This one was a Superman book. Now, the reason why this is so special is because it was recalled. There's very few copies of it. It was recalled because Superman, Clark Kent and Pa Kent are actually drinking beer Crow beer. It says Crow beer on the bottles.
Wow.
DC recalled it, issued a new one, and now it says Pop.
Wow.
So that's a recalled comic book. You don't find it.
But we can see
Fun little Easter egg there.
Yeah,
That's super cool.
but it's okay for like Alan Scott to be like fondling with another man all bare chested in a comic.
Sorry,
that's okay.
I've never
their
met
own.
him. He
Drink
sounds
beer?
lovely.
Like,
To each their
like
own.
really?
Fondulation.
This one I actually found. Look out! This one I found somewhere. I bought this.
That was very cute.
I bought this
it's
at Zia one time for $1.
Oh wow.
All right, you're looking at it, old detective comics. Yeah, okay, cool. But then I looked a little closer.
Adam
It's not
West?
Randy
Adam
Jackson. Okay,
It's not Randy
it's not
Jackson.
Randy Jackson on a samurai sword right there.
Okay.
Burt Ward and Adam West.
Wow.
Crazy.
Don't know if it's real or not. This weekend I'll be sending it off to CBCS and see what kind of luck comes of it. It might be the only.
That's cool.
It might be the only second comic book that I have that's actually slab that I'll actually keep. 'Cause
Yeah,
That's cool.
You
absolutely.
know me with the raw stuff.
Oh yeah. Keep it raw.
Ah!
Yeah. Like
Last, speaking
Anyways.
of raw stuff, this is one of the most recalled covers ever.
Ooh.
And it didn't even get recalled, actually, now that I think
my
about it. It was issued, and they tried recalling it, but it was too late. But this is one of those perfect sexual innuendo covers
Let's see.
that I'm going to show you.
Alf?
I can't
That
wait.
people are clamoring and they're looking for this thing.
You have it.
Oh, it's wonderful. You're going to love it.
Oh god.
Sunny especially.
It's Alf with the seal there. Yeah.
Yes.
What's
Yeah.
Alf doing to that seal?
Read what it says there, Paul.
He landed on the seal, but it looks like he's doing something
I'll
else
read
with it.
the whole thing. All new 100% fresh Alf. Caution, do not buy if safety seal is missing.
Oh boy.
So hurry up already.
In the
No,
word,
no animals were injured during the making of this cover.
in the cover, the little blurb right there. So hurry up already.
That's why.
can
That's
see why.
So that's why I got in trouble.
Yeah, it got in trouble for it.
I would
Marvel,
imagine
Marvel actually had to issue a
Wait,
statement about it and do an apology.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be falling down on him, but then everyone kind of took it the other way. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like,
Dang, that's crazy.
I can't
that's
possibly
a-
see why.
That's an extremely, that's a really hard book to
possible
find.
Alan Scott.
yeah, I was going to say it's a very hard book to
It's a
find.
really hard book to find, but that's just me. I like to bring the stuff that people
good
don't normally see and to talk about those old stuff because I'm the
like
old
that.
school guy because I'm the old guy.
And that's cool to learn about the Action Comics, but I didn't realize I have the one that says Pop
Oh,
on
really?
it. That was one of the last things my dad had collected, the Brainiac Jeff Johns run, and I was completely unaware that there
Yeah,
was
it
one
says
that
beer
said,
right here, Crow
that
beer.
said beer on it. Yeah, that's super cool.
This might have been, was this around the time when they were getting rid of like that and like cigarette ads, like Camel, like the Camel one?
2008
2008.
ish.
Okay.
Interesting.
It was probably.
Man, the good old days
That's
when
when
kids
that's when
could
Brainiac
smoke.
was coming out.
Brandon used to go to the
Beers.
gas station and get his family cigarettes. I
that's
mean, when he was 12 years old. What happened to America?
Smoking on airplanes.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably a lot further back.
Not
Didn't
no
have to wear
TSA.
seatbelts.
Speaking jive on the plane. And
Oh,
somebody
that's
being
one of the
able-
funniest
Oh,
jokes
of
I've ever seen.
Excuse
me, I know jive.
Yeah. So,
Jive.
white people helping
Frank,
out with that.
you usually go last, so I want you to go next.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
All right,
Frank,
Nightwing
Frank,
300.
Frank,
It's a legacy
Frank.
issue. This is actually it's
Super cool
legacy.
cover.
It's a Nightwing 113. They made it like a flip book, and if you see it all the way down there at the bottom, he's punching the criminal and kicking him in the face.
Yeah.
right down there, all the way at the end. So kind of cool, like drawn out there like a flip book. And there's a really cool nod in here. You guys know that the co-creators of Nightwing back then were Marv Wolfman and George Perez. Okay, so in this scene, and there's a lot of back and forth between him and the rest of the Bat family throughout this book. It's a really fun issue. It's got Marv and George's Pizza.
Oh.
And then they happen to have a guy who looks a little
get
like George Perez, who's giving him, just some like kind of like life advice, is like a place in Bloodhaven where Nightwing would go and hang out and grab a slice, whatever. But towards the end, he's giving him is like, you're talking about how selfless you've been and how you've gone out of your way to help so many people. A lot of people right now. You don't know, but we're going to be getting into the last arc of Tom Taylor's whole run. It's been a 4 or 5 year run, and it's been incredible. I put it up against anything as far as the run that anybody's done with any particular character. He has made Nightwing be able to stand on his own. and hold up his own against any DC character.
Yeah.
He is becoming like a tentpole type franchise of a character, and is one of the things that the character who happens to look like George Perez is. He says, and I got a little teary-eyed when
Weepy?
I read this.
Got a little weepy.
Says, "I'm proud of you for everything you've done, Dick," and George was too. Oh, and he's like pats him on the shoulder.
Very cool.
That's
down
cool.
there. It's kind of a cool
cute.
little moment. And we're going to be going into now this final story arc, Fallen Grayson. That's going to be taking
and
place.
Redondo's back on interiors.
Redondo will be back on interiors. He did some of the artwork in here.
And Nakulu did some of the...
And Nakulu as well. So it's going to be a fun run. I'm excited for this
One
this last
thing
storyline.
I think Sonny would get a kick out of that page with all the cameos you were talking about.
Deadpool.
No, it's there's a bunch of anime characters in it. I can't remember all of their names.
They have like anime versions of...
Deku's in the background of it or kind of Deku looking character. The main character from Jujutsu Kaisen is in it right here.
Oh yeah, he's right there.
There's this guy's kind of supposed to be Deku back here. There's a few anime references in this comic.
Ash Ketchum, really cool. He's in there somewhere.
Is that an anime?
So
I guess that
is Pokemon a manga?
Everybody knows that when you were watching the old G.I. Joe cartoon, you were kind of like, you were very divided in thinking that Cobra Commander was kind of like a pushover of a character, little whiny, right? kind of came across as like a wimp. So
not anymore.
A la Starscream. Well, not anymore. Cobra Commander is a psychopath, and in this series, Cobra Commander, this is the second to last issue of this limited series. I've really enjoyed what they're doing with this as part of the Energon universe. It is violent. Some goofy characters that you remember from that old 1980s or early 90s G.I. Joe movie where they introduced like those Cobra Law characters, Globulus and Pythona, Nemesis Enforcer. Nemesis Enforcer is terrifying. Enforcer is terrifying in this book.
Oh, really?
There's ridiculous violence and gore in this. I love it. It's incredible. Cobra Commander is a nut in this series, and there's a little reveal at the end of this issue that's going to be leading into something that's already been announced that we're going to be getting in the coming months. But it's been a fun series.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very much I guess like the Void rivals of what they've been doing with Transformers.
Sure.
This is the kind of like the cohesion that they're going to have with the G.I. Joe side of it with the Energon universe. It's interesting. It's been a fun read. I've liked everything they've done as far as relationships to the Energon universe. All that stuff has been great. Void Rivals, like Transformers,
Baroness and Scarlet in one cup, kind of a thing.
It's not like that. Okay. Baroness is in the Duke miniseries. Was in the limited series. Yeah. And Scarlet's getting her own series too.
Interesting.
She's gonna get her limited series.
Is it called Baroness and Scarlet in one cup?
No, it's not. That's what I got. Also today was announced Jason Aaron will be writing a limited series for Namor beginning in July.
Oh, very cool.
An 8-issue Namor limited series beginning in mid-July. So
Jason Aaron?
Do you have a Namor impression?
I thought he was only writing for DC currently, but I guess not.
No,
you thought
I think he's doing.
I do have a Jason Aaron comic with me though, so stand by.
All right.
Well, you're on standby.
Right, well, here's the Jason Aaron comic. So this is Batman Off-World, Jason Aaron, who's
Shocked.
obviously
Stunned.
Yeah. And if I had been the one that brought Nightwing, you would have said that too. So,
I know. No, I wouldn't have.
But anyways, so
always Batman.
This comic is a comic that I started off and I didn't really love it. The reasoning for Batman going out in space is very silly. He's like, this alien comes, beats the crap out of him, and he's like, there's other threats out there to Gotham and myself, and I need to go out into space and figure it out. The way it came together was a little silly.
What? Okay.
Yeah. But what it has resulted in is the freaking coolest comic I have ever read.
Really?
It's literally a Batman, Star Wars, Rick and Morty almost mashup. There's like crazy weird characters with weird names, and the dialogue is like intentionally goofy and over the top, like in Rick and Morty. But it's like almost like the Kessel Run kind of. There's like this storm that Batman's commandeered this ship, and he's flying through it to go after this company called the Black Sun Company, which are like basically doing human trafficking in this galaxy called the Slag Galaxy. And it's so cool. The Black Sun hires a Thanagarian, who is the same people that Hawkman is. And so he's on the cover here. You see him fighting Batman. And it's just super cool. cool. Like, is it the most like narratively compelling thing I've ever read? No, but not everything has to be.
Right.
And it's just been a lot of fun to read.
Hell yeah.
There's like super like it's corny, but it like really works. They're attacking this like fleet that's attacking them, and of course, all of the individuals are robots because that way Batman can do his thing and not have to worry about killing them. And it's like, well, of course they're robots. Yeah, but it's really cool. And then when there are people, Batman has like a Zeta beam where he can like shoot them out of it, and he tries to use one on the Thanagarian, and it doesn't work. And the Thanagarian beats him up and is taking him to the Black Sun Company as like because they want him alive and they want to interrogate him before they kill him. And it's super cool. Just the fights are
I
awesome.
thought the Zeta beam was just for teleport.
And that's literally what they're using it for.
Oh, they are using it for
teleporting.
teleport?
Like they're shooting it at the oncoming shifts with humans in it, so Batman doesn't have to kill him, and it just teleports him.
Oh,
Batman
okay.
created in 1938.
Yeah.
All these years, almost 100 years, and now they're thinking, let's put Batman in space.
It's literally,
and it works.
It's
never
so
been done
Never
before.
been in space?
He's been in space.
No, he's been in
Yeah,
but
Justice
this is
League
the
animated
first
series,
like
Watchtower.
full on Batman centric story where he's in space.
Batman riding the cosmic waves.
Doing
It's just
it's literally the thing that powers the ship he's commandeered is a space hurricane. It makes no sense. It doesn't have to though. It's the coolest thing ever. And Doug Mahnke is
That sounds pretty cool.
one of the
actually.
dopest Batman artists of all time. The color is incredible, and I can't say enough.
that shouldn't make any sense.
It shouldn't, and yet it's so cool. Like I literally can't stress enough. I
Interesting.
went from issue 1 of thinking this is kind of ridiculous to now issue 4. I can't wait for 5 and 6.
You
It's a
really
6
came
issue.
around on that series.
Yeah, I thought it was like
Oh, it's Batman.
if I were to give the first one my thoughts on the story.
He didn't
after
like
the
it the
first
first
one,
two, is what I'm saying. He didn't like the series the
I'd
first two.
say it was like a
what he said?
6 out of 10.
You know good and well he's going to
Now
first
I'm up
Batman
around like a
series.
9 out of 10. It's literally so much fun and so easy to read. And then the last thing I want to talk about is the second issue of Helen of Windhorn. It is again the reteaming of Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. It's Tom King, Bill Kazevely, Matias Lopez, and it's setting up Helen going on an adventure with her grandfather to inevitably fight and slay a bunch of monsters. And Helen, the governess Lilith, who is taking care of her in the absence of her now dead father, and her they kind of absenteeness
Damn.
of
Get it
the
out.
grandfather until the end of this issue. She has kind of cultivated
head
this
also
relationship
exploded.
with Helen. Now she's super worried about her going out with her grandfather.
Interesting.
And it's set the stage for the third issue to be really awesome. Bill Kazevely continues to be just one of the best artists working. Tom King is not everybody loves Tom King stuff, but he is one of those guys who is a fantastic writer, and sometimes he just writes something that maybe you don't identify with.
Yeah.
But this is phenomenal. Matias Lopez's colors are phenomenal, and I can't say enough good things about this comic.
You're phenomenal.
I need to see that immediately.
Can I talk about Paul's selection of Redcoat that he had a couple weeks ago that I got a chance to read?
Yeah.
Because it is so good. If you haven't picked up a copy, Jeff Johns, and I forget the other writer's name.
it wasn't Batman?
Right. Redcoat. It was one of the
nice,
copper
Paul.
drops that we had a few weeks ago. Paul had mentioned it. He gave it to me to read. I read it
It's awesome.
3 times.
cover.
I want to get the second issue. I really love this story. I thought it was so well done. It was creative as far as the story of what's being told. It's about this guy, Simon, who ends up getting immortal powers and can live as long as he's on American soil. So you kind of see him throughout the years go on, but it's fun because in this story, it kind of surrounds the Illuminati and the occult, and it brings a lot of those things that are a major theme
Immortal
to the
George
story.
Washington.
Yeah, immortal George Washington. And Benjamin Franklin is trying to become immortal. Meanwhile, this guy Simon, who is like, honestly, it kind of reminds me of Deadpool a little bit. Just doesn't really care
He has that
because
humor.
he knows he's going to live. Like, seeing that juxtaposed with Ben Franklin trying to get immortal life and this guy who kind of uses it flippantly and is just kind of like whatever about it, I thought was a very interesting dynamic. The art is great in it. It reminded me, I even told Frank, it reminded me of not Days of Future Past, good Lord. What's it called?
Days of Thunder.
Yeah, Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
NASCAR. Reminded me of that really fast. No, Once and Future King. Sorry.
Once and Future
Once
King.
and Future. It reminded me of that sort of vibe, like
Sure.
bringing up old history,
still.
ancient magic that is a part of this. It's very good. If you haven't gone out and grabbed it, grab it, and it's gonna. I believe it's going to tie into Rook and Geiger.
Not Rook, but Geiger and Geiger, Junkyard Joe, and there's one or two.
They're doing
other
another one-off.
Yeah, it's called the Unnamed, and that's kind of their superhero crew.
Yeah.
That's all going to come together.
All that to say is that these copper drops are super valuable if you really want to get into reading comic books, because there are times where I have no idea where to start, where to go, what to read because of the McDonald's and of stories that are out there as far as Marvel and DC. You've got these great other studios, and that's what this segment is for. These guys really do a great job at doing that, and I want to commend Paul for suggesting that story, because now I'm hooked and I want more.
Awesome.
So.
And that's what we want. Sonny, did you get a chance to read Rook?
I liked it a lot. I think the what do you say, the Unnamed, I'm interested in like the character building now.
Yeah.
Is it going to be like, I don't know, I don't want to call them like the Avengers of this universe or whatever,
that's
but like,
fair.
You know what I mean?
That's how they're kind of coming together. I think if you really want to get into it, there's a one-shot special that's like 80 pages, and you should read that. And if you read that, you don't really need to read Geiger, which is a thing that is probably, it's got 13 issues in total out through all of its runs. But Geiger's super good, and it's set a really good. Geiger is the Iron Man of MCU for this comic.
Okay.
Geiger has laid the groundwork, had a fantastic start, and then Red Coat and Rook. Rook may end up tying in, but it's not specifically in the Unnamed
universe.
group. That's kind of its own thing. But it's just really cool to see Jeff Johns, Brian Hitch.
For sure.
Brian Hitch, that's what it was.
Tony S. Daniels, I think, is writing a couple of them.
We've got a bunch of people.
Yeah, and
Faybox
it's-
involved. I mean, it's got like there's a
Wilson, I don't know, Wilson, is that his first name? Haish?
Lot.
Haish, he's coming. He stopped doing art on Titans Beast World to come over to this. It's just a bunch of really iconic Marvel and mainly, honestly, DC guys because of Jeff Johns' connections, who are writing all these Image comics and creating a new universe.
I like it.
And fun fact, that 80-page giant Geiger special has a standalone story called The Secret Origin of Barney.
It does.
Really?
Two-headed dog.
I gotta get that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, I'm
so
interested.
it's a good time to
Good
get
as
in
bought.
on the ground floor with all this, because it's just like with the Energon universe. Everything
Great
is
comparison.
like, the Geiger universe, that unnamed Geiger universe that Ghost Machine's pushing is still it's in its development, and we're getting ready to watch
feels
it blow
cool.
up.
It feels fresh.
Right,
Yeah, it's
right.
different.
And
you know what I
then
mean?
you have on the other side, you have the Transformers, the Void Rivals, and
Also
all the,
phenomenal.
All the G.I. Joe
Trailer
stuff
was
coming
rough.
in too. So it's good.
Transformers 1 was.
Yeah, it's a good time to get into the indie stuff, definitely.
This stuff's okay, like standing on its own too, with respect to the Energon stuff. You can read any of that stuff on its own if you want to.
Absolutely.
The connectivity that they have, though, is going to
Yeah, Void Rivals
paying off. It just enhances the story.
The first
Right.
trade was awesome, and I didn't feel like I needed to read the Daniel Warren Johnson Transformers, but it made me go,
Maybe I should.
maybe I should read
Yeah.
this stuff.
Right.
And I'm not the hugest fan of Josh Williamson. I have liked the start to his House of Brainiac in Superman. And there are other things he's done I've liked, other things I've done that I haven't liked. But if I like this House of Brainiac stuff and I get super more into the Transformers and Void Rivals, I'll probably jump on to the G.I. Joe stuff, even though he's a great writer. He just doesn't always write stuff that I did.
It
that
feels
I
like it's going to
identify
be a
with.
while,
Yeah.
though, Barney. Like we're talking like how they're doing all these limited series before they make the actual G.I. Joe series like on its own. Because I think they're trying to end all of the there's a G.I. Joe series
It's a
going
big
on
setup,
right now.
yeah.
They're trying to tie some loose ends before they start up. Again, that's why they're doing the limited series. Scarlet's gonna have a limited series. Destro's gonna have a limited series. I think they're starting like concurrently.
They're almost reintroducing him into an ultimate format, like a Marvel
Yeah.
Ultimate format.
Absolutely.
That's
You know,
what it
the
sounds
way they're doing
Yeah.
it, but they're doing it in a fresh way that doesn't feel that 80s campy, Joe's got red lasers, Cobra's got blue
Right.
lasers.
Yeah.
It's more of a harsher take, like you talked about with Cobra Commander being absolutely
it's
psychotic.
crazy.
Yeah.
like
It's
you never
nuts.
saw that Cobra side of Cobra
untapped
Commander.
No.
Even in the comic books, it wasn't really tapped very well.
Right.
And Nick, and I've had the conversations about shout out to Nick. I think he was in the chat. He might still be hanging out in there. We've been talking about just if you liked Transformers as a cartoon back then, and at any stage in your life, you go through these books and you're like
I like this.
it's like you got sent back in time to those
Yeah.
things because
Yeah.
the action is ridiculous.
That's
Jorge
how-
Corona just picked up the
Nostalgia.
ball and ran with it.
That's
as
how-
far
let's
as
see if-
Danny Warren
let's see if
Johnson's
he
winding.
uses
Last
this.
Ronin felt when they started when that started up. What are we running with?
No, there was a tee up that I thought he might have been using there.
For the trailer for the new stuff?
No. For
Oh.
another series that is beloved that brings back nostalgia. That's going really great.
That's it's kind of got everybody's attention. Everybody's kind of swept up in it. They're wondering if there's going to be some connective tissue to the remaining MCU animated or live action stuff as
now
a
you're
whole.
getting it.
We're talking about, of course, Xmen '97. I want to get your guys' thoughts, and just let me know what you. I know that Paul hasn't seen a ton of it, or I don't know how much you've seen of the Xmen '97.
haven't seen any of it.
You've never seen any of it?
As far
seen-
as
well, I've seen the old
back
stuff,
then,
but-
yeah.
I hate you.
There's been some nods in there, Sonny,
Trailer, yeah.
to the What If series that was taking place those 2 seasons that we could have seen the Watcher there in the sky.
Oh, definitely
maybe.
there.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to get your guys' opinion about, would you like there to be a connected MCU animated universe? Do you need this to be tied in to the live action universe as a whole? Remember, we saw Captain Carter in What If?
Yeah.
And then we saw her on the screen.
Yeah.
What do you think about that potential for X-Men '97 to tie in to a live action X-Men?
I don't know if we need all that. I think
I agree.
They're what they did in the trailer. Spoiler alert! If anybody hasn't seen the trailer, there's Captain America's shield lands in the snow. So everyone's thinking, is that going to be a version of Captain America from What If? Are we going to get some like X-Men versus Avengers? Which that's kind of what I think that they're going to lean towards. I don't think we need all that. They're doing a good job at just like continuing on the old like nostalgia, and the last couple episodes have been fantastic.
Well
so
said.
I don't think that turning it into like a big Avengers MCU collab is going to do anything.
No.
It's going to be too much, I think.
It might be.
I think that they should just do what they're doing and just kind of like let us enjoy these, because I think there's 4 or 5 more episodes still.
4.
And the creator was like, episode 5 wasn't even the big one yet. Like
He
I got
wants to do a movie, right? An
I think
animated
so.
movie?
Yeah. I don't know. Have you been watching it?
Yeah, I haven't watched last night's episode, but yeah.
Episode
I
5
did.
was
I did, Barney.
amazing.
Ridiculous, bro.
This next one is a good palate cleanser. It makes you go, to
Yeah.
kind of like be refreshed from
Yeah.
the 5th one, because 5th one ends really heavy.
Bro,
Well, after
Weird.
the 5th one, I was walking around the house going, "Sugar, I can't feel you anymore." I kept going, and my kids are like, "What the hell's wrong with you, Dad?" I'm like, "Sugar." They're like, "Huh?"
stop touching me.
So
It was good.
I think X-Men '97 isn't a big enough platform to launch into
That's what I was
the
going
Marvel and
Yeah.
cinematic MCU or the TV show. That's not a big enough, platform to do that. So it would be entertaining, but it's just they need a bigger splash.
But because they've
for
dated it already, they're putting a year
Yeah,
on the
literally,
series.
yeah.
And we're already 20 plus years in the future.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever the timeline is going to be when we get our next MCU
I like
film.
it for what it is, though. I really do. I
sure.
like how it's a lot
Oh, it's
darker
fun.
than
Oh, yeah.
the original, and where they're going with things. I'm
And they
actually
lean into the
I'm
animation
a
style
little more
too.
entertained.
Oh,
It's it's been fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm more entertained by it than I can't to go back and watch the original X-Men cartoon. There's
painful.
certain episodes that were great.
For sure. Yeah.
It's
The
painful.
Dark Phoenix saga, that was done really
That's
well.
so
Really
good.
good.
Certain
Really good.
episodes that I really enjoy, but there's certain ones where I can forget it.
Yeah.
Whereas this so far, in the 5 episodes I've seen so far, that I'm actually really enjoying this.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
to the point where, like Paul, I am not caught up on Shogun because of that and because of Fallout.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I got 2 episodes left of Shogun or of Fallout, and then 1 of the X-Men '97. Then I'll be able to jump back into Shogun again. So
I'm on episode 3 of Shogun, but going to X-Men '97, I watched most of it just on Monday. I watched like as many episodes as I could possibly watch.
Oh, it's probably even better that way.
It is there are a few things missing from it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Charles
Oh,
Xavier.
don't do it.
Rogue.
I knew
Oh,
I was
yeah.
gonna.
Okay.
How was I the only one that saw that?
I didn't. I was like, I wonder what he's talking about. What
Had a
I did too.
feeling.
He had me.
Two
He had me.
things.
I knew the minute
All our
he
minds
said-
aren't in the gutter, Paul.
I just know that Shane's.
No, it's so good. I mean, it really is good, but there is something that
How long is each episode? I'm gonna make Shane get off of this topic.
Like a half hour.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, they're-
I will watch it.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's like 25 minutes because you can't skip that intro. You know
No,
what I mean?
that Mr. Sinister Jean Grey episode was so good.
Yeah, that was a
it was.
good
It
one.
really is a
That was a
great,
good
great.
one.
It's like finally, Mr. Sinister, we get to see him on
Yeah.
TV.
No, it's
done well.
It's
That's cool.
awesome.
And he still had that same voice, but it was like recorded better.
Yeah,
So he had that same sort of voice. It was great.
It was
And he's
scary. Like I
menacing.
was
Yeah,
like,
it's menacing. It is
He's
creepy.
menacing.
Yeah.
Just sitting like
I think that they're doing an excellent job with it, and they shouldn't they should leave it alone, let it be its own thing.
I think so.
Especially, let's not ignore the elephant in the room. The MCU.
Good job, you ignored it.
Yeah, I did. I'm pressing. Let's not ignore it. The fact that the MCU, the past few films has sucked. So So let's not dilute the amazing awesomeness of X-Men '97 with the suckiness of the last few feature films.
don't try and bring it in because this is cool and then try to
let's not. Let's
But I
off of
like
it.
the potential for it to have some connectivity
no.
to what they're doing.
If it's a what if and it's just a random universe, or if it's just a random Captain America.
I'm
Maybe.
cool with it. I'm cool with
We
them
all
doing
saw
a
Doctor
movie of
Strange
it.
Multiverse of Madness, right?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I did.
I like
that was
movie.
Professor X from the animated series.
That was absolutely
They
him.
pretty much said that.
As they introed him right
Yeah.
into the
They play his music.
play the music.
the Illuminati.
He looks
yeah.
like
It's him. I mean,
That was cool.
They should
Yeah.
leave it. They should just leave it
so
alone.
they are definitely making nods to it.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I'm
If
pretty sure
they're gonna
that's
say,
that
well,
beast.
get ready for X-Men '98, the live action film. They're not doing that. So, I mean,
Right, so I think that
but
intro
having
of
some
that
connectivity.
intro of
is kinda-
Professor X coming in with the Illuminati and playing the X-Men theme song
With
that
the
was
yellow
all,
chair.
That was all for fanfare. That
Yeah,
was just
for
for,
sure.
us.
Sure.
Most people that watched that were like, huh? They had no idea. But for us that knew, we knew.
Yeah.
I know
I
what
would- I
I
would
did. The
love to-
popcorn bucket would have happened. So
Jesus.
I definitely like the
Extra butter.
Yeah.
I just don't see the necessity of tying in an animated show with live action.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
know
they want a
that you said
built-in
we did it
audience.
with What If and Captain Carter showed up, but I think that served the purpose of a multiverse story.
Sure.
It's like, oh, we had this. Like, what if? Oh, we can make this What If come to life. But I mean, as far as the X-Men, like, let's not mess this up.
Yeah.
Let's
Look-
not
look
mess
what
this
they
up,
did.
'cause we're getting Fantastic Four, and it's supposed to be set in another universe, and we're reportedly actually getting 2 Silver Surfers. I don't know if you guys just read about
Right.
this,
Well,
but
Right. One's an alternate.
So glad you
or
brought that up.
whatever.
I was gonna.
because there looks like they're casting
Keanu Reeves.
Lakeith Stanfield.
Lakeith Stanfield as
Leslie Snipes.
the potential
Norrin Rad.
Norrin Rad Silver Surfer. So we'll see what happens, but let's one thing at a time. Let's pump the brakes. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves when it comes to it. I just don't think.
look what-
and if that was the Watcher, I think it's great because then it just kind of tells everyone like, remember, this is the MCU.
We got other stuff,
Still
yeah,
part
yeah.
Of, there's
Right.
this is still part of the MCU, but maybe not necessarily because the Watcher can go. He can look at everything, right? Like,
Yeah, he be watching.
But I mean, it didn't really. It really didn't work as well with Star Wars. I
be
mean, look
looking.
at
Watchers
Star
be
Wars.
watching.
You had all the Star Wars animated stuff tying into Ahsoka, and like
wait, that didn't work.
did it work?
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka was terrible.
What?
I think you're in the minority on that.
Terrible. Yeah, I didn't like Ahsoka at all.
Relax. Let's not.
Yeah.
I don't know about
lose
terrible.
our-
What did he
lose
say?
Because I think I didn't love Ahsoka. I thought it was okay, but
I
I,
didn't
think
love it either.
most
Oh,
people liked it quite a bit.
General
I
Shakuka.
don't think it was.
Not General Shakuka,
General Shakuka
but
was the best thing
horrible.
General Shakuka
in
and
the
them
show.
pants.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and Ezra at the end. Oh, that was a great payoff. Right.
All right, you got a point.
All
there.
right.
All right, Marcus.
I got other questions.
All the
about
years
that,
of Rebels and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden, we get him at the end, and then Admiral
can't
Thrawn with
fight.
that weird like hairline and plug that he had.
All right, you got a point there.
I feel like you're nitpicking like random little
There's so
things
much
about
more
the
to be
show.
told.
coming out like a pot-belly gangster.
But
I know.
And Ahsoka,
This is chilling. He's stuck in
Rosario
time.
Dawson, she was so boring on screen.
Mad
she was. I
She
mean,
was very.
yeah.
Potbelly gangster.
That's nice.
One of the huts right here. We got remember the huts right here.
All right, Marcus. Don't get me started, bro. Them ugly ass glasses.
Isn't that cave the space
Don't
worm
get me
came out
going,
of?
Marcus. I swear to God, bro. I'm vulnerable as hell right now. I'm going through a major separation, bro. Don't do this to me, guy. I'm ready to fight somebody. Come at you with your kangaroo hat. Dated back when LL Cool was on the top of the charts wearing a backward smoke. Goddamn.
Oh, hold on. I like that.
Breathe.
His hat's fine. No,
Goes great. His hat's fine.
go back to the glasses.
He was like, I like the damn hat.
Yeah, the hat's cool.
Shane, I can't believe I'm calling on you for this, but if you could provide some calm vibes over there,
Sure.
vibes with a Z.
What can I do for you?
What do you? We're gonna get out of here. It's almost taco time.
Okay.
What do you got for the people? Thanks for being here tonight.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you for having me. I've had a good time here tonight. I've only had 2.5 Trulies tonight, so
On a diet.
I'm only half in the bag. Yeah, I'm creeping up on drunk, but not quite there. I'm saying for what I got for the people is one of my favorite bands, Mets, has a new record out. Run out and go buy that. Look for it on Spotify, iTunes, and all the other musical platforms that you can find. Mets is a great Canadian rock trio. They are absolutely terrific. So check them out. And I just wanted to say that I wasn't here last week or 2 weeks ago, or was that last week? Where Donovan
You were
first
here
came
last
back.
week.
I was here last week, but Donovan wasn't here. The first week Donovan came back. I just want to say welcome back, Donovan. He's one of my favorite people on this planet, and I'm glad he was there here tonight to talk about Fallout with me and be on the same side because Sonny and Paul are bullies. I'm telling you that right now. They're bullies.
That's fair.
Most of the time, they bully each other.
Yeah, actually, this is the whole episode. We've been
He
friends.
did
That
flip
is
me off
true.
at one point, like at the very beginning of the episode.
Donovan,
Go ahead, Bob.
Huh?
what do you got for the people?
I love you.
All right.
I think you're all great. I don't really have much to say. Read comic books and watch cool stuff so we can talk about it more.
Marcus.
Front Row Card Show this coming weekend. If you're in the Las Vegas area, Rio.
Top shelf.
Yeah.
Top shelf card.
Top shelf.
Top shelf.
At the Rio. Yeah, check it out. Lot of fun. Lot of cool vibes. I believe Steven, our buddy Steven Lolito is going to be there.
He's going to
Shout
have
out Barney.
foil prints
Barney's
of some
gonna
of
be
his
there?
covers
Yeah.
for Box Boy
All right,
and
let's
Whiskers.
go.
He's going to have
Our boy
foil
will be
prints
there.
of some of those books.
Nice.
I need one of those.
Our boy Barney is going to be there as well.
I love him.
It's on Sunday or Saturday?
Both.
Saturday and Sunday.
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
I
Sunday's
can't make
first,
both.
then Saturday.
Both.
Sunday.
So they're not going to do Sunday and then the following Saturday.
Yeah, just tell Shane that.
Who going? Who going?
Sonny, what do you got for the people?
Who going?
I know I need to watch Shogun, but I need some new stuff to watch. I think I've just been burning through shows and rewatching old stuff. I think I'm going to rewatch Westworld maybe.
Watch The Regime. The Regime is on HBO. It is featuring who's
Kate Winslet?
Kate Winslet.
that's
Oh
why,
my
that's why
God,
you want to watch
Sonny.
it. Never mind.
Sonny.
I was with them right now.
Has anyone watched The Sympathizer, the Robert Downey Jr. show that's on HBO Max?
No.
No.
So
The
any good?
Regime with Kate
that out.
Winslet.
I haven't watched it. No, I haven't.
Oh.
But I'm
No, nobody's watching it.
Sick.
not recommending it. I was asking if anybody had watched it.
No one's seen it.
I want to know what
Kate Winslet.
Quan's watching these days. See if he can
Oh,
recommend
Quan, what you
something.
got going on there, bruh?
So nothing.
Just yell.
Sick.
I'm watching
Quan's
NBA,
been watching
NBA
a lot of growing
playoffs.
pains.
Barney, NBA playoffs are going on. We got
Yeah.
the last playing games tomorrow, and then the playoffs are Saturday. Barney, what do you got for the people?
Yeah, Front Row Card Show this weekend. Come on out. It's Saturday and Sunday at the Rio from 10 to 5 both days. And our buddy Gorilla Todd is actually going to be doing a panel there on how to collect comics.
Very cool.
Nice.
Cool.
Is there going to be any like doorbusters? I meant to ask you. Any doorbusters like for like first couple people come through? They get a. Is there a drawing or anything?
Yeah.
going
No,
on?
they do the first-
there's a bag or a swag
There's a
bag. for the
VIP.
first 100.
Yeah, there's a VIP bag, and the first 200 people each day get a VIP bag, and in it is a comic book from ShimpSons. It says with thanks from ShimpSons Comics. So,
Nice.
So that's a little something we're giving back to the community on it. So,
Cool.
but yeah,
Hell
that's the
yeah,
first
brother.
200 people per day. There's a VIP ticket holders. So
Nice.
Hell yeah. Where can they find us on the social worlds?
Oh.
Paul.
Where can you find us on the show
does that so
world?
well.
You need therapy.
You can find us on the show.
Why are you doing that so much? I didn't like.
Because it's what you did.
These guys
you
need
need to
couples
stop. I'm
counseling.
gonna reenact this cover.
Yeah, you're like, don't hold it like
Isn't
that.
that-
And make the sound, man.
What are you doing? Whoa, whoa! Did you just like caress it?
You can find us on the social world.
I wasn't the one who did it first.
We're gonna reenact this later on.
Anyway, Alf.
You
Safety
can find
seal
us
is broken.
on the whole world at Into the West Comics on Instagram, TikTok, _comics on Twitter, Into the West Comics on YouTube, where you're at us right now, on Spotify for podcast, on Apple Pods, anywhere you listen to it, you can find the podcast on there. And be sure to go say hello to everybody individually. Frankie FRU on Instagram, Darth Sunny. It was Darth Tat for a while.
Darth Tattoo. There's a 2 there. I changed it. I don't know. I change them all the
TDYK
time.
Shane, Comic Talk for Comic Talk 101 for Marcus, Mr. Fulmer for Donovan, and what
Why are you doing
ShimpSons Comics.
this?
I don't know. I'm shouting everybody out.
This is weird.
Thank
dude.
you. Thank
I
you.
feel
Appreciate
more
it.
like comfortable just like arguing with you more.
Camco Radio.
Camco Radio. Shout out.
Thank you to
Oh, yeah,
Cam
Camco
hanging out with
Radio.
us, putting up with us.
Shimpsons.
And
Brendan said
watch
this feels
the
more
Unnamed
normal.
Sports Show. It comes on before us. It's Quan, Dre, sometimes me, Frank. They have a lot of good guests on there. Check that out too. Check all of the stuff out from Gorilla Cross. All of us.
You're just
Guys,
being
we
nice.
thank you. Make
Nice
sure
guy.
you
was
make some
annoying.
time to go down to see Front Row Card Show at the Top Shelf Card Shop.
Top rack.
Over there this weekend
Stop.
at the Rio Hotel and Casino. Go see
Stop,
Barney,
stop.
Stephen Lolito. A lot of local people are going to be there. Dusty Attic.
Oh, Maximum is gonna be there, I
Maximum
believe, too.
Northwest will be over there. They're going to have a booth.
Fire Force will be there.
Guys, there's going to be a lot of creators down there. And if you're a collector of anything, Funko Pops, comics, sports cards, Pokemon cards, sports
Toenails.
memorabilia.
Movie
They've got
posters.
movie posters, movie collectibles, TV collectibles, all kinds of stuff
That's that toenails.
for you guys to check out.
Toenails.
Make sure
Yo.
So get down there. They got everything for you. But as for tonight,
What the heck?
right now,
He said
It is.
it's taco time in America. Have a great evening, everyone. We love you. And have a great weekend.
We will be seeing you next week.
Go Knights, go. We will talk to you
Go
soon.
Knights, go.
And we'll see if Marcus has a different color glasses next week.
He definitely will.
Love you.
Bye.
Love y'all. Love you, Eva. Bye.
We love you, Eva.
Shout out to the chat. Love y'all.